so glad DJ Trev is in the building with the hand clap. You know what I'm saying? You can't.
It was rough.
Yeah. We had no hand. Oh, wait. We did have a hand clap.
It was a delayed hand.
Okay. Torian tried to do it. But see, that's why the problem is that you have to be here, DJ Trev.
Yeah.
No more bi-weekly. We have to make sure that you're here every week. Okay?
Oh, man.
You might be able to make that happen.
Oh, okay. Cool. Absolutely. I'm definitely digging that and loving that to the extreme for sure. So here's the deal, you all. If you don't know right now, we are here with Cierra Lynn. Okay? Like, this is an amazing, amazing time for us to be here. I mean, she's so bright and so beautiful. We are just so glad that she is here with us right now. So clap it up again for her being in the building. It's infectious. It's definitely infectious. So here's the deal, guys. If you don't know, this is IAG Radio Show. We are so glad that we are here. Every single Wednesday we are here to give you something that is unique and to support those that are doing amazing things, such as Cierra Lynn, for sure. I feel like I'm saying Cierra Lynn because I should probably just say Cierra, but I mean, she's done such a great job with branding herself that it's almost unconscionable to not say Cierra Lynn with the whole name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
it just flows together.
Yeah, you're like, CLC, how you doing? You're like, wait a minute. wait a minute, pause. But anyway, IAG Radio Show is about independent artists' goals and supporting them and providing them a welcoming and positive platform. And this is what we live by. This is what we do. And so we are only as great as you are participating with us every week. And as we learn more, we get to vibe out to more greater things and to support you in all that you're doing. So let's just get into this conversation because there's a lot that we have to talk about. Clearly.
Yeah.
All right, so first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Band of Roses.
Yeah.
They were on our show last week. We had Mary and Autumn. We also had Smitty as well as Sharon plays the sax and Mary plays the horn. So basically the horn section was in support of Band of Roses last week. So that was a pretty amazing experience. And then we had the pleasure of hosting their concert that they had, which was their single album or their single release of Don't Stop, which we premiered on last Wednesday. They also played it live for the first time last Sunday as well at Bethesda Blues and Jazz Club. And they did an amazing job. And it was really great to see all the women kind of come together. So if you haven't seen the footage, some of the footage is there. And then also I had the opportunity to go ahead and wish my mom a happy birthday because it was her actual birthday at the same time. So that part of it was really dope. So, you know what I'm saying? That part is something that we're always glad to be able to kind of support for sure. Now, moving on. Monique. Okay, Monique and the whole idea of the Breakfast Club interview where she called Charlemagne the God out by his official government name. Leonard. I honestly, to put the record out there, I want everybody else to kind of put their thoughts out there before I say anything. So I'm going to pass it on because just in case, I'm going to just save mine for last. So let's see here. Let's start with T.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the idea of it is that she's definitely deserving of what I believe they did lowball her, the quote. I don't think it should be as hyped up as it was, but this is her life, this is her money. Okay. So I can't knock her. The thing is like, and then like when the new stuff with Tiffany Haddish, but they said she's doing other things with them too. But she's getting what, 800,000 for her special. So so it's just like, but she's also doing another comedy thing. So she's having other opportunities for her. But it's just like they were saying, it's like you're not relevant, right? I mean, she's not as popular as she is now. Okay. So she's not as deserving of that money that she was asking for. So it's a lot to it. I can actually see both sides of this of the story of how everybody's handling it. So that's the way we handle it around here, But I see both sides of it. I agree with Monique to a certain extent. You got to fight for what you think you deserve. Yeah. But what is she really deserving of?
Oh, okay. So Cierra, what's your thoughts?
I just have 3 words. Know your worth.
Yeah. Know your worth. Okay. Know your worth. Okay, we're gonna talk more about that. Okay.
So I'm not gonna front like what I said the week that we talked about it before. Like I think she's put herself in a position
to where people kind of don't want to work with her.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, now you're coming, it's like you want everybody to be on your side when essentially you blackballed yourself. So we don't really know the reason behind Netflix saying, we're going to give you this money instead of this money.
Okay.
But you can't compare yourself to what nobody else is getting. That's number one.
That is true.
What's for you is for you. Now I understand. Yes, you feel self-deserve. You feel like you deserve exactly what Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle, whoever. You feel like you deserve what they got. However, I'm sure their lawyers negotiated that deal. I'm sure that they, they went to the table. So, Monique, I still love you. I still think you're funny, but I'm still going to continue to watch Netflix because it's some new shows out, and I was just watching some before I came here that I'm not going to here we're going to say this is my last one. People are making the comparison to now everybody's jumping on the Monique bandwagon because Viola Davis said what she said, and everybody is like, oh, well, Viola Davis said the same thing as Monique, but y'all was all behind her. Two different people. Two completely different actresses, in my personal opinion.
Okay.
I just...
No disrespect. I'm just trying to...
I don't have that much to say. They are Viola Davis and Monique, two different people. But I think one of the key differences is Viola, at least to my knowledge, didn't ask everybody to boycott anything.
Correct.
She was making a point. As far as Monique, I'm sort of like Tori. I see both sides of it.
Okay.
But I don't think that she warranted being clowned the way that we have clowned her. If we didn't agree, we should have just sort of been quiet and kept on watching and doing whatever we were going to do.
Okay.
But it became a big deal as far as us clowning her. I thought on the Breakfast Club she made some very good points.
Yeah.
And there was much more merit to what she was saying than what I originally saw
Or thought, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I hate to see that we are so slow to support our own. And if the story is true as far as what she put out there and some of the other shows she went on, and they saw her point, because I saw it on the Breakfast Club, I realized she was valid.
Mm-hmm.
They were more supportive than her own people. So that's a little bit disappointing. And it also kind of brought to mind the boycott efforts, at least here in the United States, that I've witnessed or somewhat been a part of. We never really have a successful boycott. You see it in other places. You look at what happened with H&M. They closed shop in several shops in South Africa. What about here?
That they didn't have the vibranium. That's why they said, "Oh no, Wakanda forever."
That's why I should have been more supportive of her. But I don't know about. I didn't know if boycotting Netflix was a realistic goal in that sense. I think she has other options. I can't see why she can't do it on her own. They should have offered her more. Maybe other artists or need not mess with Netflix like that or demand more from them. But that's what I say.
All right, so I appreciate everyone's perspective because I feel like at every point there is all valid, right? But here's some things that were not discussed as broadly as other things were discussed, which was the haterization. Wanda Sykes also, no, I don't necessarily think Wanda is really funny, but she also had a $200,000 request to participate in a special with Netflix. $200,000, right? So the other issue is that if Monique were to have taken the $500,000 gig, she was not allowed to perform anywhere else for 2 years. No stand-ups, no, if HBO said, wow, we saw what you did on Netflix, we want to have you on, she would not be legally allowed to do so. So that means she's tied up all of her potential resources. And if anybody knows, especially Cierra, you've been on television plenty of times, right? The opportunity to be on another platform is so that possibly it allows you to then be on a different platform, right? And so every time that you're on a platform, you then increase your demand or you increase your wealth, okay? Mm-hmm. And so similarly, this is the same thing that independent artists go through. If they want to be, the first time you're eager to get onto a platform, so you do it for free, right? She said that she was paid $50,000 to which she played Precious and received, I believe it was an Oscar. she received $50,000, right? And so the other part of it was that she, yes, really, this is actually, go ahead and check your sources.
Wow.
She was paid $50,000 just for the movie. Now, when the movie brings in capital, unless you have already negotiated deals on the back after like post-production sales, you don't get any of that money. So the Wakanda Forever actors, they're just doing it because they believe in the vision, right? But technically, unless they have already legitimized a deal, they don't get any additional, kickback from the sales of the movie, right? So, and then the other part that she was talking about was that she was blackballed once she said she wasn't going to go overseas to continue with the promotion of Precious, right?
Okay.
So I definitely feel like she was blackballed, okay? It's easy to be blackballed. It only takes one person of certain stature to make a comment and it's like, oh, okay, well now everything is shut down. So I do feel that we have a society where people do not know all the details and are quickly eager to judge and to pass judgment. And I definitely think that maybe Monique did not go about it the appropriate way, but she could have said, this is my stance and this is why. And have chosen to legitimately not boycott Netflix because now people made her a mockery. And so now where she is trying to build awareness of what's going on, nobody wants to hear her. But if it had been Tiffany Haddish at this point is grossing a lot of money. Like she's now on Groupon. Like I legitimately think $800,000 to Tiffany Haddish to do a special is ludicrous. She too should receive $1 million or plus offer. And the reality of the situation is she's been in the game for longer. But this is a whole nother conversation, taking it back to Candace, who was on our show, who's also a comedian, that talked about the unique difference between how men comedians are offered more opportunities and more platforms along with greater income and resources. And I still think this is a greater debate between knowing your worth and knowing how to negotiate. I just honestly feel like that is the art of negotiation. So my thoughts, and just closing, because I know we are past time, is that I pray that Monique is able to develop a unique branding tool that helps to rebrand herself and takes off of that shadow that has been casted on her. And if for ever chance that part of that shadow might have been true, that she learned from those examples. Because I also kind of felt a little slighted when she was on The View, and it was Whoopi thought the need to say something that wasn't the most positive right before they went to commercial break, and that was the end of the segment. And I felt that looked really poor as well. And I feel like if I'm talking to you about something that's offset, off camera, there's no need to now try to legitimize yourself or bring it on camera. So some things are deserving for off-camera moments versus it being brought on camera. But anyway, shout out to Monique. I think she's a funny woman. We would love to have you on IAG, you know what I'm saying, since you're independent. And we'll just keep things going. Now, the other concern is about gun control issues. Obviously, there's been a plethora of shootings, school shootings that have been occurring over the years. We can say decade, actually, now. And one of the things that was interesting when I was teaching last week that really kind of the students that I was with brought some things to my attention, and they brought to my attention, like Miss Jones. It seems that all of these shootings are never in predominantly inner city black neighborhoods, but yet we're expected to have metal detectors when we go to school. I feel like that's not fair. And you know what? I think that's a stereotypical assumption being played out. And the reality is it called prevention, or is it really called like just, racial stereotyping or racial profiling? What do you all think?
I mean, it can be considered a form of profiling for, just as far as the school aspect goes, because in predominantly African American and Latino or whatever neighborhoods the areas around the school have a lot of issues with violence and shootings and things of that nature, which can sometimes piggyback into the school occasionally.
Okay.
I don't think it's a real testy
Yeah.
situation because then you don't want to call it out and like, oh, well, only white people do that because I mean they do, but they don't. We unfortunately have our own people that like to do mass shootings. You know what I'm saying?
But in a school setting, though, there has not been any recorded school setting of a mass shooting of any school by any person of color. Now, the sniper, he shot up some things, but it wasn't an actual school shooting. Like, he didn't come into the school and shoot a plethora of students, or maybe one or two, however many there are. Yeah.
That wasn't, but I mean, it's a messed up situation all across the board.
Right.
I mean, gun violence is gun violence.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think it goes back to mental health. Everything for me, because if you are allowing whoever, I don't know if y'all know, you could get guns at Dick's Sporting Goods if you were 16, apparently.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, 16 years old, you can purchase an assault style rifle from Dick's. So they just now said, oh no, we're not going to do that anymore. But I mean, it's just, how many Dick's is in our, how many Dick's Sporting Goods is in the hood? How many are we going to purchase those guns?
And that's the whole point. I mean, no, but if you think about in Chicago, there are
a plethora of there are a plethora of guns that are sold black market, and not in a store, and you can't even put a tag on who bought it from whom and where it came from. I mean, just to give you an update, from the Chi, people, there's bad cops, and sometimes they sell, some guns to people, and they have like a church offering. But anyway,
I didn't see last week's episode.
You ain't seen last week's episode.
Okay, so I'm fascinated by this show called The Chi. All right.
She's about to give all the business.
So Lena Waite is the executive producer. I'm not giving it all. I'm not trying to be like the preacher on Sunday that talks about the movie before you see it. But I'm just saying that it's a commonality that occurs that sometimes you're unable to trace where guns are purchased necessarily in the inner city hood.
That is true.
But no, we don't have no Dick's Sporting Good in the hood because we just don't have it. But at the same token, on a more positive note, I guess the reality is that this is an ever-evolving concern because there are moments that gun control is necessary. Maybe assault rifles might be one of those necessary evils versus saying a handgun, because I'm not going to lie, if someone intrudes upon my home, I legitimately have the right and authority to kill them because now you're trying to harm me. So I don't want, certain rules to just all of a sudden be like disarmed. But at the same time, like this idea of younger children, teenagers, preteens kind of being able to have guns, that part is alarming because I see how easy kids can pop off and then have no remorse for it. You know what I'm saying? So that part is concerning. But we all have a voice, and that's the part that's most important. And the person who has an incredible voice that is representing the DMV, aka Fort Washington, Maryland, PG County all the way, is Rayshon. Okay, so Rayshon Lamar. Rayshon actually is a contestant on The Voice. He appeared on this past Monday, and we have a clip, I believe, of him singing.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She told me not to a single wind so room. I smell the wine cheap perfume.
Yeah, I mean, this is the ultimate. Yeah, this, like, and if you notice, they clicked like right on beat. Like, yo, I don't even think he even had like a full sentence stanza before they turned around, and that's definitely a dope experience. So we most certainly are proud of his efforts and wish him well. It's so crazy because I remember him being in my kitchen, you know, when we were practicing for backgrounds for a show that I was going to have in Philly, and it's just like that's what we're talking about when you tangibly can see somebody doing amazing things and they're doing what they love. And he has such a remarkable story as well, like overcoming cancer and now being able to sing and hear and do all these different things. So shout out to him. Also be sure to continue to tune in because Terrence Cunningham, who's from the DMV, definitely is also going to be on The Voice as well, and that's just dope. That's like family right there, you know what I'm saying? So that's totally cool. So, but you know, it's time for something we most like that is super cool. Yeah, so let's get with it. All right, here we go. B with the T, B with the T, B with the T, B with the T. B with the T, B with the T, B with the T,
No, she just pop up. I did a little. She was pop your collar.
Yeah,
I was just, you know. So as everyone knows, hello everybody. How y'all doing out there today? So today is officially, not for us, not for me, but officially by calendar standards, the last day of Black History Month.
A moment.
I mean, Wakanda forever. But it's okay because I feel like, you know, with the emergence of Black Panther and how great that's doing and the spirit of togetherness that it is bringing, we as a people are just going to continue on in the spirit of Black history.
Okay, what are you doing? All right.
Yeah. Come through Black History Month. So with that being said, my tea is really going to be Black History Facts, with the exception of saying rest in peace to Insa, Bill Cosby's daughter. Insa Cosby, she passed away 2 days ago. She's 44 years old.
She's really young.
It just happened. So we want to send condolences to the Cosby family. That's really difficult to lose a child. I pray to God I never know what that feeling is. So definitely prayers to Mr. Cosby and his family. Now on to the blackest of Black History Facts.
Black is a black.
The black. I'm not really that black.
Oh, okay.
I just want to give a few because I don't want to take up a lot of time. I don't want to take up a lot of y'all's
get to
time.
Sierra Lynn, you know what I'm
You know what I'm
saying?
saying? So first, does anyone know who Paul Downing is? Anyone? No?
That's a name.
Anyone?
No clue.
Paul Downing, he created something that we essentially use every single day. He created the mailbox.
Really?
He did. In 1891, October, he called it a street letter box. He, filled out for his patent and everything like that. So we definitely want to shout out Mr. Downing for the mailbox, for all them bills. We don't thank you for them.
No.
But we thank you for the box that are necessary for them to
Well, maybe
come
those
in.
checks that come in.
Them tax refund checks?
Oh, I need to file my taxes.
Yeah, no, didn't do it either. It's okay. Mary. Helen Williams. Does anyone know who Miss Williams is? I'm coming through with like little known. Don't look. Helen Williams. She was the first black model to cross over into mainstream advertising in 1950. First. 1950s are like, that wasn't even really that long ago.
Yeah.
Exactly. But we see you. We salute you, Miss Helen. Then Daniel Hale Williams. He was the first
He's an
black.
author.
Okay. He was also the first black cardiologist. He performed the first successful open heart surgery and founded the first non-segregated hospital.
Move out the way, Ben Carson.
Heart strong.
strong.
See, he got you over there.
Yeah.
Then we have Andrew Rube Foster. He was the first African American baseball league, National League in Kansas City. So before your Babe Ruths and all of them, Jackie Robinson. It was Andrew. Oh, there's so many, y'all.
That's what's
It's
up.
I have a lot. I'm probably gonna post these because I literally have
you
just been,
should.
as I'm getting them, just saving them because it's inspiring to me because it's things that I didn't know, and I always like to get new wrinkles on my brain from learning things that I did not know previously. So, happy Black History Year.
Hey.
Wakanda forever.
Come on, Cierra. Wakanda forever.
Sierra, you not see Black History?
Thinking about Michael B. Jordan.
Ah,
for Adam.
I'm going to Wakanda. I'm going to Wakanda.
Going to Wakanda.
I'm going to Wakanda to see Killmonger.
And a few others too. Him and some others.
I'm going to Wakanda. Wakanda forever.
You have to end it that way. Pause. So, here's our commercial break. Oh, wait a minute.
What happened?
We're going to have a real commercial break, and I have a special thing to do. So, I have a real commercial, actually. There is a place that has become fond to my heart, and it's called the Sugar Shack. Excuse me. The Sugar Shack in DMV, specifically the Sugar Shack location in Shaw. They have given us some prizes to give away, and it's a free donut. They offer vegan donut options along with other donut options.
Yeah, I thought you did.
So maybe I need to do that next time. Duly noted. However, the first person that posts to IAG, whether it's on IAG Instagram or IAG Tonight, and telling us exactly your thoughts of tonight's show, good, preferably, you will get a free donut. We will mail it to you, or you can come meet us here in the den and receive it. No, not the donut. It's
the coupon.
please.
We're gonna mail them.
So this promotional offer does not apply to any staff member.
Oh man, I'm going to do an IAG post.
Exactly. No staff members.
All right, so we can actually post it for you all so you can officially see it. But it's basically here. And so, yeah, we have a plenty. But you have to be good stewards of IAG and participate. You know what I'm saying? And then you also have to follow the Cierra Lynn collection on Instagram as well, and the artist Cierra Lynn. Okay, so that's what you have to do. So you have to do all three, as well as following at Sugar Shack Shaw. Okay. Yeah, you have to screenshot. That's exactly what it. Boom. While promotion lasts. Okay, that's. All right. So let me explain this to you, just in case you weren't clear.
The rules of the contest are.
Indeed. One, you have to follow us. You have to already be following us, right? Or follow us at IAG Radio Show. The other thing you have to do is to go follow at Sugar Shack Shaw. Then you have to follow either one or two of her pages, because she has two. All right. The artist Cierra Lynn, or the Cierra Lynn collection. You have to follow those. You have to screenshot it and post it in our thing, somewhere. Those connections have to be posted, right?
Okay.
And you have to use hashtag IAG baby.
Oh, shit.
All right. So we'll actually put the rules of the contest there.
And we
How
have,
many winners can we have?
we can have a total of 1,
Oh, I was gonna say.
4,
Like we saving those for
5, and there's some more in my book bag.
Okay, so
Okay.
5 winners.
Okay, 5.
All right, 5. Thank you very much.
Yay, Nick.
Well, T, what time is it?
Hey, let's get into a little bit of music right here. That too. Let's go ahead and do Nia Norwood. Let's get into that black girl magic a little bit. Yeah. Let's try to do a little Nia, so we can catch up on a little time here.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
okay.
So, but Nia's she's a DMV girl. She started singing since she was 4 years old in the church. She started studying right now at Berklee College of Music. She just dropped a single, Black Girl Magic. It's on Spotify, iTunes, everything. Check it out.
When you're lost and alone and you don't know where to go, just reach inside yourself. When you're born with what it takes to be what you want to be, so use what you have already and let your dreams take you forward.
Instagram at and that's NIYAGRAM.
Yeah, this is Sister Norwood's little daughter.
Yeah, Renee Norwood.
Yeah, exactly. She was directing us back in the day, the children's choir. You know what I'm saying? We was getting it back then. Her daughter has been on tour, I believe, with India Irie, and she's done some dope things. So she can sing her behind off. So we are so proud of Black girls who have that magic, who are knowing their worth and are not stopping no matter what may seem to kind of break them down or seem to be a roadblock, and knowing how to make a roadblock into kind of a new paved avenue of a career. And that, my friends, are knowing someone that's dear to the show is none other than Cierra, and she has been known as Cierra Lynn. So we may be calling her Cierra Lynn for the rest of until whenever. You know what I'm saying? Until she hits her off of a Puff Daddy exchange, you know. New name with that new. You know what I'm saying? So we are here with the self-love advocate, the published artist, designer, and teacher. And if you can't see her, she is radiating in this brilliant color. Clearly, you know what I'm saying? Skin all nice and everything. You know what I'm saying? You just come on the show all humble and everything. Like, how y'all doing? Bomb skin, you know what I'm saying? Okay, you know.
What's your moisturizer?
What's your regimen? Is it a 1, 2, 3 witch hazel?
You're a dermatologist.
Acrylic paint.
Oh, is that? Let me get some of that then. Okay.
Ball on my face.
Well, everyone, let's clap it up for Cierra being on the show. We are. Absolutely. We are so glad you're on the show. So here's the story and the connection of when I first had the opportunity of meeting her. So it was the Central Union Mission. They had their first kind of celebrity cook-off experience, their event that we went to this past year. So that was back in 2016. That's when I got the coined phrase of being a celebrity singer, which I was very grateful for. But Cierra was present, and the whole crew was Michelle Wright and Micheline Bowman, who are both kind of like my play sisters or what have you. And Cierra came and had these decked out glasses, and she was like, yeah. So I looked at your profile and I thought of you, and I thought this would fit you. And I was like, what? I felt so honored, because I'm like, little old me, like I just got the title celebrity, you know what I'm saying? Like I got all of 10 followers, but I got the title. Won't he do it? Now I'm getting these bomb glasses that are so fashionable. And I'm like, I'm with the likes of Little Mo just recently, got some glasses and pushed her out there like that. But I mean, she's always been sweet, always been humble, and like I would say, not just as an entrepreneur, but just as an individual. Like there's nothing about her that doesn't speak excellence, and she's walking in. She is her own masterpiece, walking in that. And I'm just so proud of you. And I look at you as kind of like a role model of branding and just being, you know, exuding who you are. So listen, that was a major intro. I understand that, but I want you guys. What I'm trying to say is, pay attention to what we are talking about tonight so that it's applicable to you and in your path, because everybody has a story. And that's what we want to be here at IAG, to disclose those that have a story, because everybody doesn't necessarily know or know the extent of the story. So, Cierra, thank you again for being on the show. So let's get into things. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, okay, this is independent artist, black. Okay. What is the true inspiration behind you creating fashionable masterpieces?
Women.
Mm-hmm.
Women. I genuinely want women to feel good in my creations.
Okay. So that's nice. That's a nice way to put it. But where did that stem from?
It stemmed from me growing up, having low self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
When I was older, you know, when I began dating, you know, when you're young, I'm not gonna say dumb, but young and dumb, making just some decisions out of not having that self-confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
Accepting some things, and I will never forget dating a specific person, and I always felt like I had to change who I was. They didn't. They
That
didn't.
was a major
you know,
amen if you ain't know.
they didn't support
Wow.
my artwork. Certain features that I had, like I've always been shapely, but to this person it was not good. You know, like cover yourself up. Why do you have those leggings on? Why do you have that? I love leggings. I only wear leggings, so it's like that's a part of
me.
me.
Get into that.
So it's
European
like, you
brand.
know.
What you say?
It's a European.
Hey, no, I don't need a European cut. A black cut. But no, just hearing those things, I started to believe it, and it kind of took a toll on me mentally, emotionally, and I would wear sweatpants and wear things that would hide my body, and I didn't create until I was like, hold on, you're tripping right now, you know. So I started to show my work. I was, you know, became confident in my body and stuff like that. So
How did that happen though? What had to change in you to get you to that point?
I had to do some self-work. I had to honestly realize what I brought to the table. Realize that it's your loss, not mine. You know, so that came with me affirmations and honestly realizing that about myself, how unique I am, my features, like I'm a painter, express that, you know, things like that. So it just came with me realizing myself, not what necessarily other people had to say, but that does play a role when you do have people to pour into you on a daily basis, you know. So and realizing it for myself.
Okay.
So that started to change, and again, like I've been saying, this whole believe it, where it exuded. I really believe that it is power in your style. I mean, to some you know extent, like this shirt, for example, Go Digger. If I have on like this pen, I know my work. It's just constantly, if I need a reminder, I will look down at that. It's constantly, you know, playing in my head. I'm going to start to exude that, walk like that. Or if you know, if you have on a shirt that says I'm a thought, it's the same thing. When you're planning it, you know, you want to start to feel that way. So if you are, you know, my whole thing about that, if you are doing this on a vision board, it's the same thing. You know, I'm taking this paper, for example, pretending that this is a board. You're going to constantly read these words and then you start to speak them. So why not have that same power through your style? If I'm walking, this is what the world's going to see about me. If I have a shirt that says millionaire, watch out. My bank account is going to be on
1, 2,
you know.
5, 8, 10.
7.
I just, you know,
in
the bank account. Yes.
So.
I think that's totally dope, and I think that's more authentic than most people actually like to admit, because I feel like there's a tendency for us, specifically in the African American community, especially women of color, to not acknowledge the self-esteem concern and the self-worth concern, and how much someone's opinion of you, depending upon who that person is, can either improve or pretty much be a detriment to you being who you are. And I think it's always important to mainly have pillars to help you kind of support the whole idea. I mean, that's stemmingly what IAG is all about. Because here at the DMV specifically, I found time and time again that there's a lot of fake support. And it's kind of like we all have gifts that are uniquely different. Even if you are a singer, you can't sound like me, and I can't sound like you. I can probably mimic it, but we can't be in competition with one another. Like, this is something that we unanimously need to grow with. And if you look at different cultures or even different cities in that manner, people are supporting each other no matter what kind of it is. Like, if it's a music video, well, I'm going to come in, I need to wear, I may not be able to afford the whole piece. Can I rent the piece for maybe 10 minutes? You know what I'm saying? For my next video or something like that. This is self-promotion. You know what I'm saying? Either way, the whole idea is that it should be a platform so that we all can support each other. You know what I'm saying? And I fundamentally felt like that was a need here in the DMV, and hence why we are here for that. Now, I want people to hear about your story about, you losing your job and what that looks like and how you turned your hobby into, an entrepreneurial mini empire.
Okay. How can I start? My
Wherever
story
you want to start.
is very, very unique. And I say unique because it wasn't a plan. How some people have a dream. When I grow up, I want to do this, or I've always, wanted to be an entrepreneur. No, that wasn't my case. I actually worked at a school not too far from here.
It wouldn't start with K because
No. But I started as a teacher's assistant, and I was doing so much artwork, had the decked out bulletin boards. It was like, do you mind filling this position? We need another art teacher. So I kind of got upgraded to an art teacher, and I hated that job. Like, I just didn't like the fact that, they don't really support art like they should. It was just like, you're babysitting for this 45 minutes, and that's what it felt like. So I remember just getting that call to the intercom. I was like, what does the principal want this time? And then it was just paper just sitting here. And I glanced, and I was like, I know, is this a raise? Like, what is this? And it was like, we don't have any more money in the budget. And I just had my daughter. She was about 1.5, going on 2. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, what does that mean? Are you going to downgrade me to teachers? Like, what does that mean?
What are you going to work out?
Right,
Figure it out. Find me another place.
Right. Lunch lady, you need me to put on the bed,
disciplinary, sit your butt down. That's the demerit.
Because before that, I did visual merchandising. I was dressing mannequins and Macy's and stuff like that. So this was really, honestly, my first job. Like, I never had a job. Throughout college, I painted for sororities, fraternities, and that's how I made income. So I was like, what does that mean? And I had about 2 more weeks until school ended. So I lost my job. It wasn't no recreating the position next year, nothing. I applied for unemployment, got unemployment for a short period. And my unemployment got cut way before it was supposed to get cut. So at that point, I'm like, what am I going to do? I was still being mommy, still getting adjusted to that. At the time, I was dressing my daughter. She was very, very, very girly as a baby. And I would always get stopped and complimented. Oh, where did you get that? So I did, kind of do side hustles for income while I was still working. So I picked back up on my artwork. I was going on interviews, excited about these interviews to only not get a call back. Or I'll come home when I was living with my mom at the time. Mom, I think I got it. I got the job. yeah, you got it. Didn't hear anything back. Go again. Our teacher position, I'm going again. Yeah, I'm going to get this one. Nope. And that started to, affect my self-esteem. Like, what is it? Why can I not get higher? And then it came to a point where I literally, Instagram, I got on social media. I started a brand for my daughter that was called Accessory Doll at the time. And it was tutus. I was doing any and everything to put her through daycare because at the time I had too much pride to walk my little self down and get government assistance.
Oh, okay.
Some things.
Yeah, like,
I didn't want to be.
Okay, how you doing after
the
stereotype?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was. I had to work on that. If you gotta get it, you gotta get it.
Absolutely.
So, but I had too much pride to get it. It's a shame I didn't want to do that. So I, created an Etsy page and was like, oh, this is cute. People are asking. And I literally got like so many orders that I forgot to apply for the job. Because with unemployment, initially you have to apply for jobs and show them your job, like five job checks. So I forgot.
Indeed, just send them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I forgot, and I was used to this routine of looking for jobs, Craigslist. And I was so busy doing my orders that I forgot. Wow. And then it literally has been 6 years since then. So that's pretty much what happened with the whole layoff thing.
That's crazy.
Now some of my old coworkers are now my clients.
Well, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
But it's crazy. Like, there's been other artists that we've spoken with, and it's just like how God forced, you lose all these doors closed, and it forces you to do what you're passionate about and what you're really supposed to be doing. So, you went through all that. What kept you motivated then? And now that because I've told 3 people, just off the humble, just oh yeah, that's it. Everybody knew about you. So so what kept you motivated then, and then now with all these people that do know you and you're on the news all the time, what keeps you motivated now?
I think my first motivation was being a mother. It's also that encouragement and motivation that I have a whole human being that I have to provide for. So at the end of the day, I have to do something. Even if I have to go to McDonald's, whatever, I have to do something. So just the fact that she needs me, I made this, I have to do something. So that, and plus, when I see the reactions and the response, and the effect that my artwork has on people, it's wow, I have to keep going.
Yeah.
Children, I still teach children. Even some of the kids from the school that I was teaching, they are older now. And I look at them wow, I taught you when you were in pre-K. Mm-hmm. And they are old now, and they look at me a little different. But it's just that reminder and confirmation when I see people. And the effect, the smile, the tears. I've met some people, and I'm hold on now. It's just a blazer. Why are you crying? Wow. But I know that, whatever, it could have been their story, whatever that I painted, something in it, touched them. So it's just, that is what motivates me. The youth, so many not good examples that the kids are, have in front of them. Mm-hmm. So just something different, to show kids that, you can also be an example, lead by example, and use your gifts to make a difference in the community too.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And that's why everybody crying with all this stuff is so custom.
Yeah, exactly. I'm we're going to have to get an IAG, TLC type of experience on this joint. We're going to work something out. Okay, so payment plans, But here's the thing, working with others obviously can be not the easiest thing, right? What are some learned lessons you have acquired along the way?
This is really a good question. This really hit home for me right now, this current season in my business right now. But I would say, do your background check is my first thing. Learning about with working with people. A lot of people are not what they supposed to be. It's a lot of pretenders out here that say, you know, I can do this. It's a lot of people that pretend like they support. It's a lot of people that pretend like they can collaborate with you. And I just feel like genuinely everyone, I can't gel with everyone. So I try not to take it to heart when people don't want to work with me and vice versa. Like it's something like, you know, my instinct always nails it with the energy that they give off. So working with people, just know that everyone is not meant to work with you. And it's okay. I mean, it's people right now, it's like, can you come do this? Can you come do a smoke and paint? I don't smoke. But it's nothing personal, you know, nothing personal if you do, but you have to just know that what's for you is for you. You can collaborate with everyone if it doesn't line up with, you know, what you believe in. If you have to, you know, change who you are to get it, it's not for you.
Right. No selling of souls will be here.
Right, for sure.
All right. We're not for that here. And we support you in that.
Yeah.
We will be collaborating though. Okay. We gonna figure out how to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Just letting people know now. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's all that matters. I mean, but that's a learned lesson as well. I mean, working with people, there are pros to it,
And the customers.
And pros.
You know, to go on that end. Naturally, you know, I'm a little reserved, and I wasn't a people's person. But sometimes, you know, you have to suck it up. Hey, you know, sometimes, honestly, I may be in mommy mode sometimes, in a giant, on the same way. Come on, Jay, let's get these Lunchables. And I may see someone. Hey, girl, why didn't you just make my blazer? I did.
Oh.
My feet hurt and my eyes, you know. I'm just like, oh, hey. But, you know, you have to smile. And I've had some bipolar clients. But at the end.
What about the touching? Do people touch you a lot?
Yes.
Okay.
They touch me.
I wasn't
They
gonna
touch
touch
my
you.
daughter. They do more photos than touching. Like, you know, I would always laugh this story in Target when I was like in the underwear section. If someone came trying to take a selfie, like had the phone, like, come on, hey girl.
Hey,
God.
this is a 36C.
I was on a clearance rack, like, you know. So, you know, but they do. I'm used to it now. I just try to not be rude, but sometimes it can come across as a little creepy. But yeah, I try to be grateful, you know.
I think that's a different part of knowing that. I guess that's a different problem to have, right? Because it's a good problem and it can be an annoying problem, but yet it's a problem that you know that you're making an impact. And I mean, a lot of people have talked about that transition when they finally get the transition between like, oh, hey, nobody knows who I am, and you're pushing and want people to know who you are. Now there's people who are stamping and approving of who you are, and now you're like, okay, I'm just this regular person. Yes, I'm, you know, I have to turn this on and turn it off, you know, because when I'm not on, you might be confused, you know what I'm saying? And I don't, but then you honestly don't want to come off rough, but then you're like, wait a minute, I still have to stand for myself. I can't be somebody that's just walked over, you know what I'm saying? Because that's badly, you know, you still got to live your life. So being a local celebrity, and not even local celebrity, because you're reaching markets that are outside of the DMV, which I'm always a proponent of, mostly to sustain yourself, but you know, it's a different feeling. And so you know, I definitely understand where you're coming from. And then working with people, I think that's the hardest thing, because I think sometimes when you have the vision, it's hard to find somebody else who can also add into that vision as well and know how to be an asset instead of a hindrance, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, some people have their own mind, you know what I'm saying? And I think when you have your own mind, you have to find out, how can this be one mind together? So, you know, that's kind of like how that works.
Yeah. That's good. Well, speaking of on mind, there's a song out by Georgia Smith we're going to get into right now called On My Mind. She's a British singer. She got her attention by putting her music on SoundCloud back in 2009. But that led her to work with Drake and doing a whole bunch of stuff. She's been stamped with UK as their most upcoming artist. So check her out. She's going to be in DC in May.
Okay.
Don't want to feel you, don't want you on my mind. Don't want to feel you, don't want you on my mind. Don't want to feel you, don't want you on my mind. My mind, my mind, my mind, my mind. Would I leave if you were everything I wanted you to be? When I saw what you did, who you with, got me questioning the things that I believe. So I ask myself, do I let you go? Do I keep you in the frame of my mind? Now I'm growing wise to the sugar-coated lies. Nothing sweet about my misery. I finally found what went wrong. I finally found the wrong in you. I finally found what went
On my mind now. Follow her at and it's spelled Jorja Smith. Follow her. She's super dope.
I like that.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, I felt energized.
Yeah.
Like, this whole experience, like, my mindset, like, I was really kind of sad, like, legitimately sad. And I think it talks about the ability, it's not even like somebody having to speak right into your life, but just having some kind of positive energy around, like, that can change a lot for anyone. And I mean, I can feel the change, you know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely think it's great. And so, my question to you now is, what was the most inspiring piece that you have made to date and why?
Okay. I'm maybe Taraji right now.
Okay.
And I say that because she is from the city.
Right.
And she's also a single mother. So for me to see that, to actually know that, you know, you are raising your son, and it gives other women, you know, like myself, again, to know that I have to keep going. It's other black women that's out here, single mothers, paving the way, leaving a legacy for their children. So when I see her in this, I'm just going to be like ecstatic.
Oh, it's going to happen, though.
Yeah, she spoke that, though.
Absolutely. When I see her in this.
Not if she wins, it's when. She spoke it, so it's going to happen.
And that is the key way of making things, speaking those things into existence. Like, it doesn't matter if it's today or in 3 years. She gonna be wearing this something. It's gonna be in the closet. All right, that's all we got to know. It's gonna be on a hanger that she owns. Okay, and she gonna walk out and be like, it may be at a new award show. She got plenty to attend. You know what I'm saying? Why not? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's definitely dope. What is something that was so minuscule that you did that had a major impact as well?
Repeat that.
What was something that was minuscule that you did that had a major impact?
I feel like every little thing has its like little, you know. I can't really say anything specifically, but
Was there anything that you did that you didn't think that was going to be that overwhelming? Like, you had people crying, you know what I'm saying? Like, you was like, pause, what you crying for? This is just put it on, you know what I'm saying? But like, what, something like that. It's just like,
yeah, I was at an event and I did present this person a blazer, and she like literally was lost her breath, like was speechless. And she did cry, and I'm just like, if I see some eyes water, my eyes gonna start watering. But she literally lost, like, was speechless. She didn't know what to say. And it was just something where, you know, I pretty much summed up her story too, and I incorporated it on the blazer. So that is another, you know, moment that I will never forget.
well, yeah, I mean, so that is dope in it itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know what the process is to preparing a piece of artwork like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know what I feel like you should start having consultations and charging for consultations. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you want me, come on over here, this consultation. Like, attorneys, they give you a consultation of $250 for an hour. You know what I'm saying?
I think people don't get that part. Because, like, people now, even when clients email, they'll say, I need this. Can't you just do this really quick? Really? It's Wednesday. It's Friday. I have an event to go to. Can you just, do a little something like, it doesn't work like that. Like I need inspiration or I need, say, just do something. I'm like, I can't just do something. I need something to work with.
Right.
Well, what you could do is go online and buy something I've already done.
That's what I'm saying. How many people hit you up during that Black Panther time? You're like, oh, I want this special.
I need vibranium now. I need to go tomorrow. I just got my tickets.
And the outfit.
So all that plays a role in creating. Like I have to be in a good space.
Okay, so what are some words of wisdom you can offer to women entrepreneurs, like the power of social media and branding? What do you think you can offer?
I would say, especially about the branding piece, is to really be authentic in your story. Social media could kind of brainwash us to feel like you have to have so many followers to be popular. I don't even know how I got all these followers. Like now people are buying followers, buying likes. Like why? I feel like what is the whole reason for that? But I feel like, if just really stay true to who you are. You don't have to add on, all this extra stuff. Just if you were homeless, say you were homeless. Because there's so many people that were homeless. Like I don't sugarcoat anything. If anything, I don't feel like I say enough, but I don't sugarcoat anything. Normal days, like right now, to be honest, mommy moment. My daughter is where? Here. It's nothing to, that I feel like you have to lie and be another person off of social media. No. So with me, you want to get me the same way, all around.
What's your sign?
Sagittarius, December 4th.
Oh, okay. You don't do the drama. So that explains why some employees didn't make it. Never really made it. But it's okay. It's all right. We totally understand. It's all good. We love you here at IAG. So that's all you need to know. Okay? And we appreciate we appreciate mommy moments. I mean, just last week, Mary brought her baby girl here. I mean, her story is very important. And everybody that was viewing didn't know her story enough, but I didn't feel the need to tell her story. But I also wasn't going to prevent her from coming with her child because, that's what it is. And all of us could very well be there sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We've all have lost a job or two or several at some point in your life. We've all have had somebody hate on us. We've all have had our car break down and trying to figure out how we're going to make it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing, like people, for some reason, the entrepreneurs, certain brands in this area especially, everything looks so perfect. Their marriage, their relationship. And this is not to say when you and your boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, are beefing, you have to say, something, but everything seems so perfect. Like, you never have a bad day, or every month you get tons and tons of, like, you know what I mean? Like, it don't work like that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, that's the truth for most. So that's our social. We've been I've been making jokes for the last couple of years about how I get like, 3 likes on a picture, and I know, I'd be like, yo, I know I knew I was looking good. That's why I took the damn picture.
And you're like, I need to delete and post it back. They ain't see it. I need to take it down and put it back.
I mean, that was at least a good 110, and I got 20. But I authentically said to myself, whether, it's comical or not, because sometimes you can get caught up and thinking that that's a form of validation, and especially as a singer, you're like, people want to know butts and seats. That means how many tickets can you sell? I know you can sing, but you look like you got 10 followers. So, or you might have 18 followers, but I've also been on the same kick as you have been. Like an organic follower. I'm appreciate the organicness of that because that means they genuinely cared enough to click follow, and if not, they will delete it. And I myself found this happening just this week. I was scrolling through. I'm like, who are these people that I'm following? I don't know. I legitimately think that Instagram has caused my account to like people or follow
Facebook
people.
has done that. I think because I'm scrolling. I'm like, when did I accept you?
Okay.
I didn't accept you. How did you get?
Okay, so I'm not tripping.
No, that's
because I'm like, I don't recall ever following you, and I'm confused. Correct. And I legitimately am just going through a cleanse right now where I just need to, like, if you're not going to help me, I have no reason to be following you right now. Like, if you're not actively following me, then what are we doing here?
You know, what are they called? Ghost phone? Yeah, no, not. Are they the ones that just watch? And just don't like.
You mean
they don't want to leave.
Okay,
they know everything. When you see them in public, you're supposed to be singing on something.
Yeah.
So you know.
The haterization comment. Girl, you still making cards? Cards. I just made an announcement. I'm making, uniquely blended cards. You still hosting on IAG? Well, every Wednesday.
I seen your little segment.
Was that on NBC or little lifestyle or something? I mean, I seen you with some models and your daughter.
Yeah, they say that.
Yeah, we had that a couple times.
You a little radio show?
Yeah. You still singing? No, I'm just out here trying to sing every damn day in the shower. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, you still spinning, DJ Okay, you got your little set with your nice shape up. Okay, I see you out here. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard because I think people do not take into consideration how many people fake the funk to make it look like there's so much more, and then you get yourself caught up. We've had plenty. Chelsea Green has come on the show. Moo Fresh has come on the show and talked about like not focusing on this social media mess and not getting yourself caught up, because I feel like it happens to every single person that's on social media, whether you intentionally mean it to happen or unintentionally. It's like subconscious. You be like, well, dang, I'm not doing that. That's true. Maybe I'm not
on social media right now. I don't know if y'all know, so I had to post it back then. Like, I get a pause.
Girl, I could have scrolled through. Maybe that was 4 days ago.
What?
Where you was laying in the bed.
Oh yeah.
I seen that. Yeah.
On which one?
It might have been Instagram, and that's another thing is the posts don't ever show up
because they have this new
algorithm.
Yeah.
Somebody likes it recently, then it puts back.
Like what?
But I seen you on there. I mean, you was looking nice. So just let you know, Cuzzo. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, I don't think people legitimately recognize the power and the negative components of social media. And I mean, you can be feeling good, and then next thing you know, you're like, they doing so much. And in reality, they not doing nothing. They just making it seem like they doing something. Yeah. If you ain't got a job, then you can definitely post every daggone hour. I mean, what you mean? They may not even know the people they posting with, but they just making it seem like they do because they're a celebrity and they put it up there. I mean, and I've always been too honest. It is marketing. I don't know what it is, but it's a hard thing. It's something that every artist honestly has to sit down and figure out. Okay, not today. I won't get suckered in it today. But I mean, you know what? If Cierra Lynn pops up on my timeline, I'm not going to be that stalker that likes every single picture. I'm going to be the person that likes all of them. You know what I'm saying? Beyond. I'm going to not just do the recent ones. I'm going to go to the ones I didn't see. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm going to stalk you right.
6 weeks ago.
I did already do that. The love shirt with the Africa on it. Like, I need to put it on.
Yeah, these stalkers are real. But we're friendly stalkers. We're supporters. See, that's the difference between a stalker and a supporter. Supporter is one who promotes you and says, I'm proud of you, and mentions that. Honestly, a stalker is just an onlooker who's just weird and touches you. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
I have to clarify. Thank you very much, Operation Definitely. So you have so many awesome events coming up. Which ones would you like to highlight? Obviously not the smoking paint.
No, I've actually never attended one.
Neither have I. Yeah.
I have.
We can do an IAG in paint.
a vision board. I have a vision board workshop on Saturday. Vision boards with the twist though.
Okay.
It's not like the average ones where you're on a poster board. We are creating mirrors, so you know, when you want to see these things come to existence. So,
So you're painting on the actual mirror.
Yes, I'm instructing them.
That is dope. That's a dope concept. I like that.
Are tickets sold out for that?
No, you want to come? I'll make an exception for you guys.
Oh,
Saturday?
Saturday what time?
2 to 5.
Oh, I'll be done teaching that. I need to come. I'll have to come because I need a new vision board. Okay. I legitimately.
Do you have to bring your own mirror?
Everything. What else? And then on the 17th, I have something similar. It's called Breathe. It's just hair, and it's sort of like affirming your inner and outer beauty through art. So collaborating with a hairstylist on that, and that's all I have coming. In between that, I have other like personal different things booked, but my own events. And then I'm probably going to do another one, a wearable civic thing too, my own.
Okay.
So, blazer or jacket or something like that. I'm going to be doing that.
That's smart. You're smart.
You're so
smart. Yeah, come up with another little niche. Because everybody does civic paint. Everybody something unique.
And that woman with that shoe.
That's what I said, like a show and a cabbage thing. So I like to, merge culinary art, home decor. I have pillow talk coming up. I love pillows, so you wanna
come and talk to me. I really want.
Okay. You wanna sing and paint? You wanna sing
karaoke?
Yes, I think we need to
sing and
have
paint.
that. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I mean,
You're a teacher.
I got a letter too. Okay, but no, yeah. When did I paint? When did I get the letter? Oh, I got the letter actually 3 weeks ago.
That's the best thing that could ever happen to you. You know that?
I'm trying to
I'm
work.
like excited.
Okay.
Are
Yeah.
you?
She's about to see our wife.
Yeah.
Really? I'm so sorry.
It's always.
No, for real. Like, where was you teaching at?
Wait on.
Was it charter school?
So we got some music to play. Let's go play that Van Just. Y'all continue to talk though. We're gonna play that Van Just easy. We're back a little bit.
But this ain't like, you need to be singing. Singing. Your eyes want to your eyes.
We got a lot in common.
Stop it.
I guess that's what you want.
I thought you was joking though.
You got that something I need.
She's very funny to me. I didn't know you was funny.
You got that rope on my G. I am out with the drum. I wish you wouldn't love. There's something wrong. There's something wrong. This is about to be a fatal situation. You got my mind, got the time for wasting. I don't wanna lust, I just wanna trust. But I wanna touch. Something wrong, I just wanna love you back. Maybe to the city, I'm front of Broadway. Guess you get stupid, then we kick it back in my place. Everything fine when we're together, baby. Don't gotta hide away, I'll be when I'm alone. Take me to your greatest hit. I'll be on the way. How you make it feel so easy. This is more, singing more for you.
But yeah, that was a beautiful moment there. But that was a Van Just easy right there. That Van Just, Nigerian. Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, that's the one right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. They're Nigerian American sisters, and their names are actually Ivana and Jessica. And they, yes, definitely. They've been repping Cali, and they got this R&B thing they're going, and they've been doing it since 2009. It's super dope. They got an EP coming soon, so look forward to that. Follow them at Van Jess, and that's Jess Music.
Yeah, that is so amazing. I think, like I said, it's always interesting. Somebody can walk into your life unexpectedly and never know how you can return the favor and then be able to learn from them, or vice versa. And I mean, this was a 2 years in the making experience to have you sitting here, to be able to share your story and to talk about things that you have overcome, how you are now empowering other women, and you are also forging your path, career path. I mean, this is ideally what a career is, I think, in terms of not just having a job. You know, I think many of us oftentimes are trying to have a job to support our passion, and sometimes find us drowning in the job, and our passion is kind of like to the side, and then you now are trying to get back to yourself, and that sometimes requires an extreme, kind of cut-off experience, and not knowing how that would happen. And it is a growing pain, but at the end, there's proof in the pudding that if you have the passion, the gift that God has given you, that nobody can kind of stop that no matter how many times you try to kind of put it away, that it still will keep knocking at your door. And even if you don't necessarily have the answers of how it's all going to work out, you have to believe that at some point it will work out. And you most certainly are a walking, living testament to that, for sure. And so, Cierra, we are very proud of you at IAG. Yeah. Love everything about you. Just the more. A real clap, right. We don't do no social media claps. But some things that we want to talk about real quickly, and just as factual information that we might be remiss. This is officially our 1 year anniversary. And a year. It's been a year.
Yes.
Officially a year that. So we are just so glad. This is a big deal, because this was just a concept that I had thought about after I opened up for someone, and was like, man, it's an independent artist goal to be able to get somebody to like or to buy a CD or to support it, or even when somebody's like surprised that I can sing, it's still like, well, thank you very much. That's a goal, because a lot of people don't, a lot of people can sing, but a lot of people don't have all that it comes with being a singer. But either way, just believing in yourself and knowing that it's something that you want to do is where this all birthed from. And I just really wanted to have a collective thing. And so my cousin, like legitimately blood cousin, Bevan is dope, and she's always supporting me, will tell me off in a heartbeat if I'm wrong. I think that's because she's a Capricorn. Torian, who is my play sister, who's known me since I was a little girl, you know what I'm saying? Torian is a very musically stout person. Like, she knows more about music than actually I do in terms of other artists and stuff like that. She can sing. She can write.
No.
She can write. Well, she's bashful, but that doesn't mean that she can't do whatever she is. That's why she's turning red. You can still see it inside.
I'm gonna do the B with the T. I think I'm gonna record that. I was playing around with this.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Exactly. Thank you. Oh wow. You tried it. But I mean, the point is that I thought of people who could support me in this vision, and they have been just that, supporting of the vision. And it's been hard, like having your own radio show. We started off in one place, that didn't work out. Had to kind of get ourselves together when we were in my house literally recording, and then we ended up here at the Den. And we are ever so grateful for all that Miriam has allowed us and offered us here. And then we had interns, and that was great. And our interns had to live their lives, and so we most certainly have been doing it all ourselves. And then we were blessed to go to a birthday party and ran into DJ Trev, and he's now part of the team, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully every week instead of every other week. We accept parenting, okay? You can bring your child to work every Wednesday if necessary. Yeah.
Snacks.
Oh, we do. We have.
No.
Okay.
The snap
It's like the fruit by the foot.
Capri Sun, something.
Oh, okay. We gonna
juice.
Fruit cups.
Oh, okay. We can make that happen. Yeah, we had formula here last week, so We run anywhere from whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? But here's here's the deal. Like, it's been a whole year, and we've had a plethora of amazing artists. And for you to be on our show, that's just bomb. You know what I'm saying? Because you exuded so much positivity and so much authenticity, and we're just so proud of that. And then the other thing is, this is my declaration. Similarly, when we had DJ Trap come on as a guest, he said in front of you all what he was planning to do to make sure that we kept him on his toes. So what you all now have to do to keep me on my toes is that I've been doing these kind of like the heart and the arm strong. And so this song that's coming out in April is my single. It's called Heart Strong. And putting that out there now tonight so that you guys can definitely see that, especially at the last day in February, considering that I too have an enlarged heart. Most people don't know that. I'm not ashamed of it, and I feel that when we are in love, we have a tendency to always be headstrong, but when we come to our heart, somehow we're never that strong, and we are in circumstances or in situations that aren't the greatest for us for a longer period of time than we need to. But nonetheless, we will be heart strong starting in April, okay? But as we always say, we're just so grateful. And if you know of an artist who's doing some amazing things, and we don't have the pleasure of knowing who they are yet, by all means necessary, please follow us, tag us on their page, IAG Radio Show, or email us at iagradioshow@gmail.com. I mean, that would be definitely a dope experience. Next week we have MK Zulu coming on, who's a bomb trumpet player and poet / spoken word / rapper, you know what I'm saying? And so we're just excited about the lineup to come in April. And but we're most excited about the fact that we had Cierra, Lynn, and Now, if you're looking to purchase her goods, right? Because there's a lot of them and they go kind of fast, right? What you need to do is you can follow her at, we're going to put it out there. If you haven't seen the flyer, we're going to definitely post it again. But the info is you can follow her at the artist, Cierra Lynn, right? That's one. The other one, again, is at Cierra Lynn Collection, right? And in order for you to get a free donut by way of the Sugar Shack Shaw, you have to be able to follow the instructions that Bevan's going to post up for you for our contest, and you have to go ahead and like her page because she doesn't need any fake followers on social media. She needs real people who are supporting her efforts. Okay, for sure. That is all that you need to know. But as we always say, thank you so